Last Friday night, I had the privilege to call the Bucks-Mavs game in Dallas with my good buddy Ryan Ruocco.
I'm sure this guy does a good job, right? It's on you.
Not only were we treated to two of the best players in the world going head-to-head, we also got a fantastic basketball game in Dallas. There was a little bit of everything. There were highlight dunks, botched switches at the end of games, a Brook Lopez game winner, and Dallas completely shitting themselves at the free throw line down the stretch. There are three players that I wanted to highlight from this awesome basketball game. We've got two of the best players in the world playing against each other tonight. Giannis versus Luka, but there's a lot of other great players on the floor. Brook Lopez has been fantastic for the Bucks this season. Brook Lopez is currently leading the NBA in blocks per game. Now, Jaren Jackson has more blocks per game, but he's only played in 11 games so far. But Brook has mastered verticality at the rim. It's not even just the block shots. It's his size, his length, his ability to contest and make shots in the paint very difficult. There were multiple times in this game as the secondary defender, a lot of times in drop coverage or coming over as the help defender. He blocked shots, and they were spectacular blocks. The other thing about Brook is his ability to switch. Now, the Bucks play heavy drop coverage with Brook in pick and roll, but he can switch out. He gives cushion, uses his size to put a hand up, and when an offensive player tries to go off the dribble, he's able to get a late contest at the rim. His size, his length, it all matters. Brook Lopez had a slow offensive game. His only bucket of the entire game was the game winner. If you watch this play closely, the Mavs completely botched this rip screen. This is an automatic switch every single time. It looks like after Middleton sets the rip screen, he's going to get a flare screen from Drew, and then Drew would pop to the top. So you've either got Middleton in the corner or Drew isoing up top. They don't even get to that action. On top of that, Luka should have his hands up, trying to disturb the vision of the passer. Just a bad defensive possession right here from the Mavericks. There was one play late in the game when he got a switch on Luka, and Luka used that fake step back going left, crossing it back over between his legs to his right hand, got the step on Brook, and finished at the rim. And Luka does this all the time. It's one of his patented moves. Everybody knows he wants to shoot that step back going left. He uses that defensive shift against you, puts it back between the legs, and gets to his right hand. And no one in the NBA is better at taking up space with their body than Luka Doncic. There was a play in the first half when he bumped Drew Holiday on a drive. Drew backed up. He had no choice. He had all that force from Luka coming at him. And instead of shooting a fadeaway, Luka then took up that space again. Drew, at his size versus Luka, there was just nothing he could do, and Luka got an easy layup. Everybody talks about Luka and his pace, how he plays at his own pace. I think the insinuation there is that he plays at a slow pace. I would argue he plays at the perfect pace, which is slow to fast. This is something that every young player learning how to play basketball, trying to become a great player, should master. Slow to fast, and Luka does it as well as anyone. He lulls you to sleep with his dribble, and then it's a quick burst. And once he gets you on his side, there's not much you can do. It's just too tough given his strength and how he uses his body. Everybody knows Luka is a great scorer, but the thing that stands out about his passing is his willingness to be creative. There was twice in the second half in possessions very close together when Brook Lopez was in a drop coverage and Luka came off the pick and roll. Instead of reverse pivoting or jumping in the air to throw a lob pass back to the shooter, he just threw a simple one arm, right hand behind the back pass right on the money to Maxi Kleber, who knocked it down.
That pass is the difference between a bad closeout and a good closeout. Again, without having to rely on that reverse pivot or jumping in the air, he can throw that one arm behind the back pass so precise, it allows the shooter time to get his shot off against a Brook Lopez closeout.
Could be fun. Doncic.
And then there's the dunk. I had the perfect vantage point at center court. Luka gets the steal, is going, for him, full speed, right at Jrue Holiday. I couldn't believe it as it was happening. I thought to myself, it looks like Luka's going to try to dunk on Jrue. And sure enough, he did, throwing down the hammer right on Jrue Holiday, who's an excellent defender and someone we've seen make this sort of defensive play all the time. If you were in American Airlines Arena, that was the seminal moment of the game. That place erupted.
Why did you go with charcoal?
I'm going to be honest with you. Last game I did with Ryan Rucco, he wore an Easter blue suit.
Yeah.
And I had this really great forest green suit on. We clashed. So we decided from now on we're going to start coordinating our outfits.
Oh my God.
For television. Not in the same like we're in a match, but like same sort of.
In a 10th season for Greece number 34, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I mentioned there were two of the greatest players in the world playing in this game. I haven't mentioned Giannis yet. Giannis, obviously, at the top of his form this season. And in this particular game, Giannis got up to a really slow start. Dallas did such a good job of double teaming at different points in time. In the post, they double teamed almost every time right on the catch. And then when he went to the perimeter to get into his dribble package, they always showed a help defense. And he struggled in that first half. But this is Giannis. And a word I would use to describe Giannis is relentless. It was almost a guarantee that he would have a big second half. He just attacks over and over, in transition especially. He looks for his opportunities to get to the rim, create an angle, and score over the top. He had multiple and ones in the second half. There's one play in particular that really stands out.
8-point Mavericks lead. Here's Giannis spinning, got fouled, spun it in, counted. Wow.
He drives right and spins back to his left hand. And on that spin, his feet get tangled with the defender. When he lands with his foot, he then Euro-stepped into a finish and one with the contact. It's this type of balance and footwork that makes Giannis so elite. One thing for the Bucks going forward, because Giannis gets double teamed so much. In fact, Luka gets double teamed the most in the NBA. Giannis is number 2. The Bucks shooters have to do a great job of knocking down shots. Giannis is such a willing passer against the double team. They've got to be able to make their open spot up threes.
Milwaukee Bucks win 106-105 in Dallas. We got treated to an amazing game. We saw Luka magic. We saw an amazing second half from Giannis. And we saw Brook Lopez game winner. The Dallas Mavericks got to make the free throws down the stretch.
Much has been made about Luka's season and Dallas's struggles as a team. I still think this is a playoff team. I expect their three-point shooters to regress towards the mean and shoot a higher percentage. We've seen Tim Hardaway Jr. shoot the ball better as of late. I expect Reggie Bullock and Maxi Kleber and Dorian Finney-Smith to start really knocking down open shots. And for the Bucks, they're clearly an elite team. They escaped with the win here, but they will be right there at the end of the season trying to win another NBA championship.